Hello. It's okay, it's only a camera. These two weren't here before.
They were, if they're not here, they're out in the room. A few times a day they go out to the exercise room.
And what's happening here? Wow.
Bird food. So,
What bird do you have?
ducks. We have ducks and we have actually one hen left. But the ducks all come from Mount Joy. So we call them our jailbirds. They've been here for years. There are two groups. One group has been here for 8 years, 7 or 8 years, and the other group a little longer.
Oh, there's Lucy. Hi, Luce. Hi, Luce. Hi, Luce. Hi, Lucy. Hi, Lucy. Hi, my Lucy. Hi, Lucy. Showing you where the ducks are.
Sorry?
So that's where the ducks and the hens are. So, like that's a story on its own actually, because those ducks came from Mount Joy, the prison. They were the mother had hatched the eggs in the exercise area where the prisoners go when they're outside. And the prisoners were kicking the hatchlings, the little ducklings, just all over the place. So the prison officers caught them all and brought them to us. Hence that they are known here as the jailbirds.
So you can home a duck too?
Yeah, it depends on whether people have proper facilities for ducks.
Oh, Lucy.
And what is needed to home a duck?
Well, first of all, you need to be able to keep them safe from your dogs or whatever. But also, our ducks haven't been clipped, their wings haven't been clipped, so they would fly off if you didn't have something around with a roof on it. And they may not be able to cope in the wild. They grew up with no mommy. They came here when they were just hatched from the eggs. So they're not so able to, and that would just be sort of sending them to a certain death, you know what I mean? So we have rehomed a few, but people need to know about ducks and what to feed them and how to keep them and so on. And I always make ample food because all the little birds from the hill also eat there. Because that way I can have so many cats outside and the little birds are still safe because the cats are fed well and the birds feed with the, sorry Michael, they feed with the big birds if you like, because it is roof, but all the tiny birds can still go in. They are like little, you know the way you see birds at the sea and they dive in and they choop, and they come back up. Well, this is a bit the same. The only thing is there's no water. It's the food bowl they're all aiming at. And so anyway.
And what food do you give ducks?
So first I make a layer of bread, brown, and then cat food, then porridge, then they get a little bit of corn, sweet corn, some raisins, And then they get a variety of dry fruits, sunflower hearts, little pallets, normal, and cherry on top would be the mealworms. And then we start with all the fruits and all the veg. So they get grapes, kiwis, bananas, watermelon, cucumber, and courgettes.
Do they lay eggs?
Oh, my hen lays an egg every day. I'd say that egg costs us about €5.50. But hey, my dogs don't lay eggs and I still feed them. So.
The first time I've done it, so
Okay, what are we doing?
I was feeding the milk to the goats.
Here they are. Are these the only goats?
I think Ava has some of her own, but I think these are the only ones they have here. Oh, no, you're not getting them.
What's in their milk?
I think it's some formula and then it's topped off with a bit of warm water.
I really like it. They have names?
I don't know.
You don't know. That's it? All gone.
Yeah.
Should have slowed down, guys. Eh? Say hello to everybody. Maybe somebody's gonna home you. Can you home it? Go. Not with a mouth like that. Goat! Don't know your name. How you look fed. Okay, see ya. So you volunteer here?
Yeah, I'm just volunteering for this week.
What's your name?
Michael.
Michael. Do you come every week or once a month? Or?
It's just 1 week just during the summer.
How come? You like
For
dogs, or?
doing veterinary for college next. No, that's what I plan to do. So
So
you
this
need-
is like a work experience.
yeah.
Okay.
They do, huh? They have that down very quick. Just long the bottom out there.
Them goats. Can someone home them too?
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, it has to be somebody who wants the goats because they love goats. Like I got an email last week and somebody said, "Can I adopt one of your goats because I have a very rough area at the back of my property and I would like it cleaned up." Well, that did not really sound tempting, you know, so we said no, thank you. You know, you have to want a goat before you adopt one. They're not a cheap way of clearing up your back garden, you know what I mean?
And what was in the bottles?
It is, it's called Lambda. It's a milk powder, an instant milk powder for sheep, for lambs, but it is equally suitable for goats. This is the only thing really there is for goats.
So you only give them bottles.
You know what? They're old enough not to get a bottle, but it's their treat, if you like. It's the daily treat, and it's also a good social exercise. You know, they still come running. We come there, they come running because they're friendly goats. You have a better chance of rehoming an animal if they are human orientated and socialized. So we still give it. Now then.
So every day at a little bit past 12, goats get their milk.
Yeah, it is all part of making them part of the family, if you like, you know, where people are, all the animals, if they're socialized, when you come to their area, the animal comes running to the gate to meet you. If your animal is hiding in the farthest corner, something is going wrong. You haven't done a very good job on socializing them, which makes it harder to home them, but also it means they don't have the same quality of life, because every time they see a person, they see people, they get frightened, which is not good.
And how important is then for volunteers to come just to socialize with them?
Very, very. Even just sit with a group of pups and just talk to them, sing to them. If you don't mind singing, sing to them, talk to them, read a story to them, whichever. Very, very important. Very important.
And say a small child will see this video and he wants to just come and visit. He can come.
Yes, but for insurance reasons, nobody is allowed to volunteer under the age of 15. Now, children under the age of 15 can still come, but they have to be accompanied by somebody over 18. To keep everybody safe. It's also in the best interest of animals. You know, if there are accidents, that is not good for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, that dog bit somebody, whatever. It means that the chances of successful rehoming that animal have just been reduced. You know what I mean? But also, you don't want that for a child. A child has to have a good memory of coming to the sanctuary. I even say it sometimes if people are thinking about adopting a dog, but they don't know yet how their children will behave around dogs. It's a very good start to say we're going to visit the dogs and we're just going to bring them a little present and we may take one or two for a walk.
Maybe they don't like when they see the dog.
Not all children, not all children love dogs, you know, that is the honest truth. Some children are very nervous of dogs for whatever reason, either a bad experience or just because they were never socialized with dogs. Children are not very different from dogs in that respect. If you don't socialize them, you know, if you had a child and you took the best care of it, but you never took it to the park, you never took it to preschool, play school, and so on, that child would be not very comfortable around other children. Dogs are the same. If you do not take them to puppy classes, if you do not socialize them with other people, with other dog, it's very easy for the world to be divided in us and them.
And say a school teacher is watching this. Can a school group come for a visit?
Yeah. Every year a number of schools visit. Sometimes the same school that come every year. They come with a bus, they might come with a group of 20, they might come with a group of 40. Children of all ages really, right up to secondary school, right up to transition year students, because there are other things to know about. Facts and figures, legislation. You know, why do we still have such a problem with stray and unwanted dogs? Is the microchipping making a difference? How does ASH come together financially? We do get a grant from the government, €28,000 for this year. Not to be sneezed at and very welcome, very necessary, but only about 15% of our budget. The rest we have to work for, and that's hard work. That's on top of doing the taking care, feeding, exercising, trying to fit in the grooming, the trainings classes and so on. You know, on top of that there is nearly a full-time job to organize fundraisers.
Hello! Hello! Sometimes in Tesco's or one of the shops I see kids or people with buckets, and so if they see a bucket of ash, will that money get here?
Yes.
Do you get money?
Yes. I would like to think so, you know. You can never ever fully protect yourself against rogue fundraisers. I heard somebody emailed me once that they were accosted on the quays in Dublin by somebody with an Ash t-shirt asking money. And when the person declined because they weren't convinced this was a legitimate fundraiser, they said, well, I hope you will sleep well in your bed tonight because the poor children will go hungry now. So obviously, rogue, not true. You know, if you see somebody raise money for whatever charity, you are fully entitled to ask for their credentials.
Is there a way to know a real Ash charity member or who volunteers to collect?
Well, we are only a phone call away. There's nobody fundraising in this country on behalf of Ash without me knowing it. Simple. Simple. People who do a coffee morning in work, they usually ask me beforehand, is it okay? We do, this Friday we have a group of people come here, it's Mandela Day. Their company honors that by allowing their workforce to do volunteering. So a group of them is coming here on Mandela Day. As part of that, they also did a fundraiser in work, so they did a cake sale, they did a little raffle, that money comes here.
I saw one day, I've never seen ever in my life, when a money actually gets to a charity, and it was a lady who gave you an envelope from a mini marathon.
Yeah.
So that money reached you.
Yeah.
So
It does, you know, and again, you have to play your part. If people say I'm going to do the mini marathon for you, you make a register, you write down who is going to walk for us, run for us. You send them a t-shirt, you send them a sponsorship card, and later you tick off who has brought it in. Yesterday somebody brought in 2 mini marathon cards, sponsorship cards with the money, you know. You have to keep an eye on it. Doesn't mean that people have to be here the day after, you know. It could sometimes take a month. Then we put a gentle reminder on Facebook saying, guys, the coffers are nearly empty. Anybody who has still have to hand in their mini marathon money, please do so. And usually people do. People do.
So people shouldn't be wary that the money is not going to get to you.
No.
If it's Ash.
No, if it's Ash, you know, and sometimes you can't believe how sweet. Last week a little girl came here who had just done her Holy Communion, and she was bringing all her Holy Communion money. And I made a big fuss of her. Obviously we took photographs and so on, but I thought, well, maybe it is €16 or maybe it is €18. There was €200 in her little envelope, because she wanted that to go to the animals. I mean, that's amazing. That is our next generation.
It's good to know that
It's
there
brilliant.
are people like that, kids
Yeah,
like that.
it is brilliant, you know, because that for a child, a 7-year-old child, €200 must be a fortune. It could buy you a phone, it could buy you a television, it could buy you a tablet, whatever else, a bicycle if you like, could buy you loads of stuff, and yet she put it all in an envelope with a little card and saying, from me to the animals.
So on behalf of all the animals, great thanks.
Yeah. And this is where Facebook is brilliant, you know. Now, I don't own a camera, if you like. I'm not in a position always to take photographs. The lady, her mommy, took photographs. She was supposed to share them to my Facebook, but she didn't. Maybe she does not really want her child. You know, people are careful putting their children up on social media. I always respect that. If you don't want that, that's fair enough. The story itself, you know, some people also don't want to say, look, that's what I did. Some people want that to go really quiet because they don't do it to get praise or to... But sometimes it can be as important to get the story out. It doesn't matter what the child's name was. We know it, she knows it, you know what I mean?
That it is actually happening, you know. So
Exactly, it is important that we know it happened. I have people that have been volunteering here 1 weekend day per week on top of their full-time job, having their own animals at home for 10 years, 12 years, and they apologize if there is a Sunday or a Saturday they can't make it. They say, I'm so sorry to let you down. I'll try whether my friend will chip in for me, but I can't make it this weekend. You know, that's how reliable many of our volunteers are.
And can they come every day to volunteer? Is there a time?
No, we don't have strict schedules. You know, staff, we really expect them to be here whenever they're supposed to be here. We want them here on time, fighting fit. Volunteers, they are king or queen. They do this out of the good of their heart. There are no rules, there are no regulations, and the only downside of that is you might come on a day and find that there are 10 other volunteers working away. Doesn't matter, there's loads of dogs, and they don't mind being walked twice either. They don't. So that is the chances. Sometimes a volunteer comes and we go, volunteer, great. We have nobody else to walk. We have been doing the walking ourselves, trying to fit it in with the rest of the work. But now we have a volunteer, that's great. Sometimes we have 10 volunteers, and then sometimes secretly we say, let's hope there's not more coming, because now we are nearly tripping over one another. Also, you feel a bit bad if a volunteer comes to offer services and they have the feeling like they don't need me here today, really. You know, but it is never a bad day for volunteering. See you, Eva. So that's Eva going home. Eva works from 6 o'clock in the morning till 8, then from 9:30 till 12:30, 6 days a week. Occasionally, if we don't have somebody on Sundays, she will have to chip in the Sunday as well. So then it becomes 13 days in a row. So even staff do more, if you like, than. It is not a job that you can say, well, you know, I'm entitled to this and entitled to that. We try to honor all, but you know, we at the same time, people do know that we very much depend on them coming regularly. If I do not get on with this, my chickens are going to be extremely disappointed.
Please do this. I don't want to film angry chickens.
No.
Kiwi.
They love kiwi. So the skins go to the pigs.
Yeah, those are massive. How did I not see them last time I was here?
I don't know.
Maybe they were. Maybe I was expecting a pink pig, not a big grey. That's more like bacon, no?
One of them is called Kevin Bacon. He's only a small chappy. And then there is Percy and Sausage. And then there is Miss Lavender, who is the biggest of them all. She is a Gloucester Spot.
Do all your animals have names?
I would imagine so. Yeah.
What's this man's name?
That's
Hello.
Willis.
Hi Willis. You're on YouTube now.
And it is Willis Gorillas, isn't it, Willis?
Willis Gorillas.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get medicine earlier, Willis? He's hot.
When Willis came in, he was with the family who bought him for 1 week. And they called him Bruce. But we already had another few dogs called Bruce. So we decided to call him Willis, so that we would always remember that it was Bruce when he came in. But Willis suits him very much, and I've never seen another dog called Willis, so there you go.
What breed is he?
He's a Newfoundland.
It doesn't look like he's walking much. He's just lying there.
Well, for one thing, he's old. He will be 10 years old next month. The life expectancy is 8 to 10 years. So, as my vet would put it, he is a geriatric. I am offended on his behalf, but I suppose he really is.
Who's that white guy there?
That is little Cheeky.
Cheeky?
And Cheeky has been here now for 11 years.
Cheeky.
But Cheeky came from a terrible situation, and she still will never go out on a walk, on a lead or anything like that. But she does join us in the living room at night and sit on our lap.
Hi, Cheeky. How are you, Cheeky?
And one day, many years ago, we had Druids visiting, and they said we should always give her a pink blanket because pink is her color. So, although it's many years ago they were here, we still use the pink blanket.
So she's not going to any home.
She can't. I'm afraid that's not on the cards at all.
And do you have many animals who just can't be rehomed?
We have some, and some we never planned to have as permanents, as we call them. But they turn out to be permanents, while others may have started out with poor prospects of a home, and then on a day they're homed. And you know, we had an old, very old, big lurcher called St. John, and he was never meant to be homed because of his age and his skin problems and whatever else. And then one of the volunteers who had been up for walking for a few times, they said, we have 2 lurchers, would you mind if we adopt St. John? It's like 5 years ago and he's still going strong.
So it's not really set in stone that.
It is not set in stone, not at all.
So there's still a chance for you.
But it has to be in the animal's best interest. I'm not sure that right now anyway it would be in her best interest to, you know, still it is very difficult to clip her nails, to, you know, only 1 or 2 persons can do it, and it upsets her hugely.
Watermelon. Who's getting a watermelon? Ducks?
Yeah, the birds, but amazingly most of the cats love it too.
I love watermelon.
I too, but this one is not the best example of the.
Only if it's nice and sweet.
Yeah, but if I leave this on the kitchen sink, then the cats come and they hollow it out, licking it. They love it. So I don't mind, you know what I mean. Thank you very much for watching. Please like our clips and share them so that many people can get to know us and know about our animals.
Hey Percy. Hi Percy. Hello.